Hi everyone, it's 19th of December. It was nice this morning. It's gone a bit cool now, so I've only been down here for about half an hour. I just came down because these strawberry runners that I'd taken, they're suffering whiteflies getting at them in the polytunnel and that, so I've just shoved them in. I've not put as many in. I usually put 20 in this row, but I've spaced them out, put 15 in, and if they start growing, then great. If not, then I'll deal with that, because I've got some other runners at home seem to be doing okay, but these were taken off that were in the video on here, which were one of the other raised beds on here, so put them in and just see how they go. They've hardly grown any roots since I potted them on, to be honest, so, but like I say, we're getting near the sort of like the shortest day, so things will start to happen, you know, over the next few weeks, like a bit of root growth maybe, so fingers crossed. As long as some of them survive, I can always run, you know, one into the middle. So I'm not doing anything else down here at the plot because it's just too muddy. My hands are freezing already. So there's nothing really much changed, to be honest. I mean, there's these like they're a bit like a Savoy cabbage. They're sort of tickling over all right. So you know they're hearted up. They're only small hearts, so I'm not going to bother. It's not worth lifting the net for that. Bit of kale, you know. This will just sit now over the winter, and what will be will be. Now, if I get anything sort of before I get ready to plant anything out next year, then great. If not, it gets a chance to wilt down, I can rip it out. I mean, that broccoli, I'll pull that out another day. Can't work it, it's just everything is absolutely underwater. I mean, some places on the, you know, on the actual site, it's like 6-8 inches deep, you know, so it's a bit of a nightmare getting across to my plot. I had to take a bit of a zigzag path, so I hope you can hear me okay, because it's got a bit blustery. Swede is still sat in there. I mean, I should take it out really, but I'll leave it be, because I just can't bother taking the net off, to be honest. That's all. There's nothing happened. I mean, it's like, what, near enough 2 months since the last time I came up here. I don't know, what was it, October 22nd I did a video from here. That's the last time I was up here. You know, nothing's really changed. You know, nothing's really started growing in that compost I got off here. I mean, some of my own compost I put on here has started to sprout some bits. So I was going to put them through a membrane, but I just wanted to get them in. I can deal with that another time. You know, maybe uproot them after the season next year and mulch them up, or just I might just straw them. I've no straw with me now, so they'll just have to sit it out, and hopefully some bugs will come and get rid of the whitefly, and they'll be all right. Luckily, this big sheet's stayed on. Thank God. So hopefully the worms are doing the job under there, but there's probably a lot of worms that are dead because it's that wet. So I'm going to go home and spend the rest of the day doing nothing, and then next few days I've got a bit of picking in the garden and some potatoes to harvest, so I'll catch you back at home in the garden. Right, it's 23rd of December, so I've been waiting for a bit of better weather to do this, but it's obviously not going to happen, so there's a bit of a break in the rain. It's a bit breezy still. It's just not, I mean, it was a bit dry yesterday morning, but I was on with other things, so I thought I'm going to get these potatoes out. There's not going to be much. It's probably the world's worst potato reveal, but just because they died back really, and then got blight, and that kind of finished the tops off. So these 4 at the front here, typical of me, there's no labels in them, but I think they're Swift. And then this tub here is Duke Yorks, and then this one is Charlotte. I think these ones have just got maybe 1 or maybe 2 seed potatoes. So I think one of them didn't really fire at all, to be honest. But if you get a few little ones, they're out for a potato salad. They'll be a meal anyway. Well, I hope so. But they've not been sort of like fed or anything done with them. They were just chucked in. You know, some of them were as late as sort of in September. I'd started some, so they've not had full duration. You know, I've got a couple in the polytunnel which I need to get out as well, and do them. So there's still tops on them, but they're a bit manky, but we get what we get. So we'll get these out of the way first, and then we'll do the other 2. We'll do these little ones first, get these out of the way. So there's not going to be much in these at all, if any. Yeah, there's hardly anything in here. Like I say, sometimes they're alright. Just if you get a few, It's alright for something like one. I expected there is. Sometimes when you grow these you get like one good one. And when you're having a poke about, that's the one you feel. And you think, oh, there's some in there. And it's just like the one. So that was a lot of rubbish. Oh, should say a few more in here. You know, so these are the so-called that you do for Christmas. You know, you could probably save these as your seed potatoes for going in if they'll start to sort of sprout early enough, because they are quite fresh, these, to be honest. Seed potato, I can just stay in there. This compost is going to get flung on top of the garden after Christmas, and then that'll be the end of that. Just get a shovel and get some of this compost out of the way now. Yep, the plot was a right mess the other day, as you would have seen in the other segment. This is going to be the last video of this year, and then get your next few days out of the way, because it's going to be a little bit hectic. But, get a bit of a rest at Christmas and have a bit of a drink and that, and just chill out. Not a little bit of a frost, but nothing major. I mean, this compost is absolutely sodden. I think it's my own compost, this, to be honest, but just with a bit of manure in it. Just put some manure at the bottom. But not many. So I'll just wash these off after, and then they can go some little bags or something in the shed out of the way until Christmas Day is here, and then I've got a nice leg of lamb in actually as well, so I might have the same to go with that. Yeah, Christmas Day we're on turkey and beef. So I'm pretty much all my own veg, bar for a few carrots. I mean, I've got a few carrots in, but they'll be a bit manky. It's like I say, it's that time you have to start buying the odd bit in maybe, but the bulk of it is my own. You know, freezer's full anyway. Right, so that is I think that was Swift. They might have been Jazzies actually. They look quite, yeah, because Swift are more oval. Some of these are quite long, a bit like a Charlotte sort of style, but yeah, they could have been Jazzies, these. Do Duke Yorks. Green one poking out on top there, full of weeds. God, they didn't quite put enough compost in it, and just sort of ended up topping up some grass clippings. But so these are quite long like that as well. There's a few more. These are nice and clean. Yeah, they're not bad then. So I thought they were Duke Yorks, but so these are quite long as well. No fault, should have put labels in, but it's one of them you think, I'll remember to do that, or you just find a seed potato rolling around its shed and think, I don't know what, I've just emptied a pot out, I'll just shove it in the top of the pot and go from there. Yeah, there's a good ample meal. These little tiny ones, so they're great for just, if you've got any spring onions in ground out like that, just nuts in there, squirrels been digging. just pop them in with some spring onions and a bit of mayo on it, and get your potato salad then. So I was sorting through the freezer the other day. There's a big bag of blueberries down at the bottom. So I bought myself a ice lolly mould. A tenner on Amazon. Blitzed them down, put a bit of sugar with them, strained them through the sieve, and there's some blueberry ice lollies. They've gone back in the freezer and they can be stored like that. It'd be quite nice that summer next week, or next year. If you're out here and the sun's out, it's a bit hot. Get yourself a lolly. It does sound like it's going to be a long way off, you know, next year, but it'll soon be here. Need tops off this. Yeah, these are Charlottes. I planted these, I think, pretty much as soon as I emptied the last lot out of here. Same compost, nothing else in it. And these got blighted, so just have to see. Yeah, is that wet? Not solid, that. I can go in with them. Not much in here at all. A few little rotten bits of spud. But, yeah, there's a spud there that's going, manky, that's blighted. That one is as well. Never mind. As I say, it's a pot full of holding compost until I can take it to the plot. So I've got some seed potatoes left. There's no harm in shoving them in. Maybe you only get a lot of tiny ones. Just clean them up, don't have to peel them. Boil them up, steam them, whatever you want to do. It's just a way of getting a sort of a late bit of a sneaky crop. So you can kind of say like, well, I've harvested something late on in the year. I mean, I've got lettuce to pick at, but I'm not doing that today. But yeah, it's been weird not being able to get out and get on the garden stuff. You get a bit sort of bored after. It's been quite a busy year garden wise. I've done alright, to be honest, not really well. And you kind of feel a bit trapped indoors and you're like, well, what can I get on with? And the idea is, I guess, is nothing. Just have a bit of time. If you've got a few jobs to get on with in the house, with them, and then just chill out. And then you can start to toy with ideas, possibilities for the year to come. Because you don't know what's going to be happening weather-wise, lockdowns, all that sort of stuff. You just don't know, so get Christmas out of the way. I'll deal with that then. All I'm going to do with this is I'll just sit it up on a couple of bricks and cover the top of it up so it doesn't load up with water. You know, it gets a chance to drip off a bit. I'll clean them pots out as well. Oh, right. I'll get them 2 tubs out of the polytunnel and we'll have a look at them. Spud reveal part 2. I've no scissors or anything to run, so I'm just going to rip these tops out. So, you know, they're still greenery, so there might be some tiny little things. Either died back, either blight or whatever's got to them. And what will be These might be swift. So there's little tiny ones on there, and let's see what we got. I mean, there's, you know, it's not a lot, but it's a meal. It's a couple of meals, to be honest. You know, and it's not cost anything. Cause it's been like seed potatoes I've already got. They've been thrown away, but not seeing anything in this so far. Because these were up top of the garden originally. I think these were the last ones. That's the seed potato. Yeah, the seed potatoes weren't old enough. It's still trying. So I'm going to save that seed potato, because that can go back in February. Because by the shape of these, these do look like swift. You know, but off that, get a few other ones. Whether they'll fire in time, you know, to sow, to compost, I doubt it. Even sometimes take a while, because these ones will have been what I harvested the first swift in whatever May, June, whatever it was, something like that. I've got a few in the compost heap that are just in a little tiny sieve. Instead of buying some first earlies in for doing it early, I'll just see what I've got. Because I haven't got the space to have too many first earlies in the garden. I'll shove all that back in there. Well, that was a bit of a disappointment. Who's deceiving you? Think, oh, there's a top on there, so there might be something in there, but there isn't. Well, I suppose in emptying these, it takes all the pressure off, and you think, oh, nothing to harvest. Well, you use up whatever you've got left. You know, and I can never grow enough potatoes, you know, to be self-sufficient with them. You know, probably if I could grow another half as many, you know, or twice the amount, then, because we do eat a lot of spuds here. Right, I'm not expecting anything different in this one. A few little, yeah, these are swift, these. That sort of nice roundy sort of shape. Nice white colour. That's the old seed potato. So there's nothing done with this compost. It was pretty much whatever I'd grown in it before, spud wise, harvested out, and then just sort of thrown straight back in. A little tiny bit of manure in the bottom, thrown back in, and some spuds that were knocking around, just to see. You know, these would have been a sort of mid-September. These would have been at the end of September. These got planted in pots. I can't remember. I thought I'd just let them go until the frost kills them, but obviously, yeah. Something's killing the tops off, so you're not going to get much more out of them. I mean, some of these little ones might have got twice the size, but I'm not bothered. Well, because I've got all my main croppers in sacks and stuff, because I just can't leave potatoes in the ground, here or at the allotment. Yeah, I could possibly here maybe, but it does get so wet. Here's what it is, and it's a nice little harvest just to sort of end the gardening year. I've got a little bit of lettuce to pick and stuff, but I'll probably do that Christmas morning. I'll come out, pick a bit. That way it's not taking up any room in the fridge. Even though a lot of times have like a little polystyrene box with a lid on it. I store a lot of my veg for the Christmas time in that. It's not because it's cold enough outside a lot of time, and you've got to sort of protect it from frost. But all in all, meal. I've got to clear this lot off up and then get back in and get on with preparations for Christmas and that. So thank you to everyone who's followed me this year, and especially, you know, everyone who's asked for sweet peas. They've all been sent out now, so I might give a few more out, but there was quite a big demand from this year, so it was quite surprising. So there was a massive initial surge. You kind of asked within days of the last video, so they've all been sent out. So hopefully you've all got them all. I know I've had some replies back. I need to reply back to them. You know, just wish them Christmas. But thanks for watching, and back again next year. Starting with garlic. Also, I thought about doing a video in January, sort of just me sitting down and just going about what goes on in my head regarding the viewpoint of the year coming, you know, and how I sort of work things out, because it's quite hard to describe. So I'll just try and do it as best I can, you know, how I sort of visualise planting dates and where things are going to go. I kind of plan, but I always the plan can always change once you set it in stone. It can, because there's so many elements, you know, that doesn't, you know, that factor in weather, and you've got to alter dates. So if you can kind of make it semi-flexible, it's a good outline, sort of. And I always sort of follow the same kind of thing every year, and you just hope the elements are kind to you, and you do all right. Some years you do, some years you don't. This year I've done all right because I've had the time, because of the virus thing, to get on with things, you know, and we had a long spell of good weather in the summer, you know, which helps. You know, if you have a wet summer, you can't really get on with anything. Obviously, you get pest problems. So that's it for this year. So, like I say, I'll do something in January, which will be garlic, and maybe I'll do a long video separate about basic in general. You know, you can call it tips if you want. I don't know what you want to call it, but if there's any questions you want me to answer in that video, put them in the comments below, and I'll answer them when I do the video. And then possibly next year I might look at doing some live streams. I just need to figure out how to do it, because I'm not a tech wizard out like that. I just sort of need to learn as I go with that. That's all for next year. But for now, enjoy the Christmas as best as you can under the conditions and lockdown rules and all that lot. It's not going to be like any other Christmas, but make the best of it as you can, and hopefully this time next year it'll be kind of back to, well, it should be back to normal. Whether it is fully, it's going to be a new way of life for a little while, I think, but fingers crossed, you know, you can get back to seeing all your loved ones and things like that next year. So take care, thanks for watching, have a great Christmas, and all the best for New Year. See you now, bye bye.